Hey there, CrossFit Deliverance members. Obviously, this is preceding a blooper. So, we're very excited to go ahead and get some education out on the Fit3D, right? This is an amazing tool. It has a lot of different aspects, right, about it that makes it unique, right? And we're going to start kind of diving into those. Amy's going to start with the first one. Go for it.
The one I'm the most excited about is the body measurements. And so if you've done a nutrition challenge with us before, it's been kind of difficult coordinating schedules, and now you can do it whenever it's convenient for you. So you just stand on this little turntable, you're gonna get all your measurements done for you. It's a lot more accurate from like session to session versus human prone tape measures.
Yeah.
So no longer do we have to come at you with that tape measure and try to figure out where to put it. And it's gonna let you see how you may be off on one side versus the other. So maybe you favor your right bicep a lot, and it's gonna show you that.
Yeah. The next one is going to be the posture analysis tool. This is going to be great to able to leverage with our in-house doctor, right, rehab specialist, Anthony, and as well if you want to pair up with any of our personal trainers to go ahead and start to attack some of these major asymmetries that are really kind of get flushed out via posture analysis, right? That takes a lot of different cross sections of the body, front, side, back, and then it's just a really accurate tool that most rehab specialists out there and personal trainers don't have the access to, right? And especially with CrossFit, and even just with whatever goal you have here at CrossFit Deliverance, this is gigantic in terms of trying to reach that, and it goes in line. Yeah, it goes in line with our entire item of virtuosity, right? Doing the commonly, uncommonly well, right? Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the next one. That's gonna be the avatars, right?
Yeah, I hate taking before and after pictures. In fact, I don't think I've ever done it because it's just like the whole mirror selfie or get a friend to do it. Like, how does that work? And so this again spins you, and it's going to take images of your whole body and creates a 3D avatar that you can spin around and see exactly what you look like, and see how your body morphs and changes along with the changes that are happening with your measurements and your posture. So it's going to provide a really cool, like, holistic picture of what's happening to your body.
Yeah, yeah.
You can even use it to watch your kids grow. You can watch it during pregnancy. Like, it's some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You can use it before and after surgery to see how maybe things change after surgery, and then how you need to rebuild that muscle back, and see when you've reached to that pre-surgery like state. So there's a lot of like really nifty ways to use it.
Yeah. Let's get into another one, which is going to be the body, right? A shape rating, right? The cool thing, this is almost think a holistic metric that they go ahead and all the information and data points that the Fit3D scans and creates a rating for you. So for example, when I took the test, I am at 87th percentile in terms of body shape. So that's taking in my height, my weight, right, all my circumferences, so much information, my posture, and tells me how my quality of my body shape is, right? And that's great because it's giving you a sample size and putting you and giving you a more holistic idea of where you're at with everybody else out there, rather than, I think a lot of people get fixated, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more in detail, about only just body fat percentage
or the scale,
or just the scale. And it's not actually telling you, like, are you made up of what is the rest of your metrics, and is that quality or not? So before we get bogged into that, which we'll talk later, let's go into the next one, which is going to be the body composition, right? Of kind of the wholeness test. Now, DAXA tests are essentially the industry standard for finding a lot of this information out. If you went to a medical facility, this is probably what you have to do. Think of like this is like a MRI essentially, and that's how expensive the equipment is. It's very commercial, right?
Yeah, it's an X-ray machine.
With that, we have to understand that that is the gold standard, and there's all these other ways to measure body fat percentage, bone density, depending on what you're looking at, like the dunk tank, bod pod, right, using electrical current, and then calipers. All of these methods will shoot anywhere from a -2 to -6 percentage points, right, of the DEXA. So if I had a 20% DEXA body fat score, for example, all these are going to shoot me in between an 18 all the way to a 14% body fat percentage, right? So there's a pretty big variance, right, with depending on which one you choose. And they're in this order, right? Dump take is 2, and then calipers all the way down 6. Compared to, we have to understand the Fit3D technology is going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum. So if I was a 20 DEXA score, depending on what information the Fit3D captures, I'm going to go ahead anywhere between a 22 percentage, right, point, or I'm going to go ahead and be at 26. Now, the important thing we have to understand that with all of these, including the Fit3D, that the standard deviation of error, that 2 to 6%, is always constant. So it's never going to go ahead and I'm going to be 3% off from my DEXA yesterday, and then today I do it again, it's going to be 6% off. It's going to be constant. So it allows us to stay in that theory of how we're using these technologies is giving us a snapshot over multiple time periods, and then be able to see the trend. This is where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to let Amy kind of pick it up from here.
Yeah, I think a couple things are to keep in mind that if you maybe come in at a 14% and all of a sudden you're 25%, you're not a bad human being and you're not fat. Like,
it's just a different technology.
It's a different technology. It's using just images of you, right? So it's just taking pictures of you. Like, there's no current going through your body. There's no scan differentiating muscle and bone. And so it's going to have a hard time differentiating whether your arms are large because you have larger biceps, or whether it's because you have gained weight. So they have some algorithms, and it's going to take all these things in consideration together, but it's not a perfect technology for measuring body fat percentage, but that's not why we got this machine. So I don't want you guys to think of this as just the body fat test. It's not what this is. This is like, what is happening to my body? Let's look at this holistic picture, and then let's get this number. I want you to look at it, ignore it, and then just see how it changes as these other things change, and use it as an accountability, like, to yourself with how you're eating and training. And together, these numbers tell a big story. Separately, they can be very misused. So if you're having a hard time understanding how these numbers correlate and what you want to see go up and go down to reach your goals, that is what our personal trainers are for. That's what James and I and Ariel are here for. So make sure that you guys gravitate to that and use somebody. And if you struggle with these numbers, let somebody else create your password and delete your email, and you have it there to look at in a year from now, but you're not obsessed with looking at it all the time.
Go ahead, just meet with a personal trainer or a stability buddy, somebody to be able to account for you, and come up with a strategy to make sure that you don't get in your own head.
Make sure you understand the numbers, and we will put up some privacy walls up there. So with women, they do recommend showing midline, and if you don't want to do that with the way it's currently set up, that's fine. We're gonna get some walls put up so that you can have some privacy when you guys do that scan.
And the really cool thing that I like about this technology too, with the Fit3D, is that all of these technologies down here are limited to the ability to create these avatars or the posture, because you're either stuck in a tank and you're laying down, right? They're limited on the growth, right? What you're able to do. The cool thing about the Fit3D is they're even talking about being able to eventually put the electrical current through, right, the handles to be able to go ahead and bring the standard deviation, right, even lower, right, and closer to DEXA. So with that, we're very excited to go ahead and bring this on as a tool, making sure if you don't know and are wondering how to use this, make sure you talk to Amy and you talk to personal trainers, and then we will help you come up with a strategy to go ahead and do this in a healthy way to leverage all this cool information. And then again, this is all in alignment with us trying to go ahead and do the common uncommonly well, and just being relentless and just trying to find positive momentum of whatever goal that you're trying to reach for.
Just one last point to give you guys some numbers to compare to, so you have some general understanding. Dory, who has given me permission to give her information out here, probably with calipers and or any of these tests would probably measure in the low to mid-teens, and she came in at 21%. So again, that can be a big shocker if you're expecting 14% and you come in at 21. You really start rethinking life and what you've eaten for the last 4 months, right? I would expect to be on the high end of mid to high teens, and I came in at 25%. And to be honest, the first time I saw that, it just completely threw me mentally for a loop. And so now that we've been able to talk with the technicians and get more information, James came in at 20%. So just to kind of give you like some parameters of when that number comes in high, expect it to be high, and that's not, it's just one piece, again, to compare against itself over time.
Yeah.
So the whole, do your scan, guys. It's a lot of fun. It's really, again, it's going to be fun in a year from now to do another scan, which you can do them way more frequently than that, and I suggest that you do. But whether you do it monthly or yearly, it's just going to be kind of cool to see those changes and those trends and what's happening in the gym. We get to watch you guys transform, and we get to see some of you and some of you can attest that like your number on the scale has not changed since you've been here, and your bodies have transformed and they look so different. And it's just going to be cool for you guys to be able to see what is happening to yourself from a straight on perspective and not us looking down, which is just such a weird perspective.
Yeah, what we project on ourselves is
Yeah.
definitely usually not what the reality
Exactly.
is, right?
Yeah.
So with this, guys, enjoy the Fit3D.
Use it.
As I said, ask us questions if anything comes up, and we'll see you on the flip side.